What's up, guys? We are back again with another video, and we are talking about the great lefty, the flamethrower, the Cuban Missile Crisis, Aroldis Chapman, the guy with the blazing fastball, the psychopath on the mound. And we are going to talk about where he ranks all time as a closer, and are we looking at a future Hall of Famer? And let's get into it, guys. If you like these videos, like the video, like it, subscribe, hit the notification bell, join the team. But we all know the story. This is a guy who came from Cuba. He defected. He played for the the Cuban national team. He played in the WBC. That's where a lot of people kind of figured out who he was and kind of saw him for the first time, because we didn't really know who this was. We kind of just knew, he's kind of a wild guy. He throws 104, 105 miles an hour, which back in those days, that was unheard of. I mean, we had guys back in the day like Randy Johnson and some other guys like Billy Wagner, another closer, that could throw, 100 miles an hour, maybe 101, but 105, that was just unheard of. You just did not see that. I can remember back when I was a kid, back when I was the little baseball guy, like when you would see like 94, 95 show up on the TV screen, and they had the little graphic where it like had a flame when they had the radar up there and it said 94, 95. I thought that was fast, but this was just insane. But he just came around with a lot of hype, and I can't remember the guy that came around that had that much hype around him. Maybe like Steven Strasburg back in the day, another guy that threw really hard, was great at San Diego State, struck out like 22 batters, but I don't really remember. And then maybe like Bryce Harper, but Bryce Harper, obviously wasn't a pitcher. But he came over from Cuba, and then he played for the Cincinnati Reds, and it was just electric. I mean, this guy was insane. Like I said, it's nothing that we had ever seen before. And he came up, he set the record for the fastest pitch at 105. But early on, he had the walk issues. This was a wild man, like Ricky Vaughn wild. And if he could just get that under control, we all knew we were looking at greatness. And, he went on to play for like the Chicago Cubs. He went to the Yankees. Oh, we don't want to remember that with Jose Altuve, but that's another video there. Anyways, he went to the Yankees, was still really good. He had a couple of hiccups, obviously. Struggles with the home run ball, but I mean, just striking out a ton of batters, like over 10 Ks per nine. And then, this is why I wanted to make this video. Just the other day, like I think it was, I don't know, maybe Friday or Thursday or this weekend, he struck out 4 batters in an inning, and he's been phenomenal. He's been insane. He has an ERA under 1. He's striking out a bunch of batters. He's still throwing over 100 miles an hour, like 101, 102. And this is a guy that's 37 years old. Most pitchers, especially these days, they start to go downhill, in their mid-30s, 33, 34. And guys that throw hard, they're not throwing hard anymore, unless you're like the freak of nature, like a guy like Justin Verlander or somebody like that. But this is just absolutely unheard of. And then let me know down below in the comments, where does Aroldis Chapman stack up like all time with the greats like Mariano Rivera, Dennis Eckersley, Goose Gossage? And then do you think he's going to be in the Hall of Fame? Put that down there in the comments. What do you think? Join the team. Make your opinions known down there in the comments. But I think he's going to go down as like, a top 5 closer. I mean, he's just so good. He strikes out a ton of batters. He's saved a lot of games. He's dominant into his mid and late 30s. So I think he's going to be right up there. I mean, at the very least, top 10, if not top 5. I mean, he's not Mariano Rivera. He doesn't have that postseason pedigree. Nobody's going to touch Mariano Rivera. That's just stupid to even say that. But I think he's going to be up there. I would say top 5. I mean, with this generation, you look at guys like Craig Kimbrell and, some of those good closers like that. And then, the big one. Is he going to be a future Hall of Famer? And you know what? If he's pitching like this at 37 years old, let me say that again. 37 27 years old, and he's dominating with an ERA under 1. What? That's unheard of. So, yeah, I'm just going to go out and say it. I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. You know, I don't think that's a hot take, honestly. I mean, like I said, let me know down below what you guys think, but I think he's a top 10 guy all time. I mean, he reminds me of Billy Wagner. He'd definitely be an all-time great in, like, the upper echelon, like top 3 if he had postseason success. But, I mean, that Jose Altuve homer, even, you know, like the Astros are the cheaters, I'll never forget that. But that's going to hold him back a little bit. But, yeah, I think he's a Hall of Famer, and it's just insane what he's doing. Let me know down below, what do you think about Aroldis Chapman? What do you think about his incredible season, his incredible career, and the future Hall of Famer? What do you guys think? And that's going to be it for the video, guys. We will see you next time.